Before you wrap the chicken up in the pastry, you have to remove the legs and cut off the wingtips. And I've done it before. I actually learnt how to cut up a chicken when I was about 18, I think.
I season the cavity with a bit of salt and a lemon wedge and some thyme. Thyme, not rosemary, thyme.
Chicken. Here I come.
Because I'm at the back in this challenge, it looked like I had my pastry out before Rachel and Eamon.
Eamon, you're looking busy?
Yeah, it's something I've never cooked and something I'll probably take home with me and try again.
And this is absolutely critical. I mean, this is going to go into the oven for 40 minutes, isn't it?
That's right.
And, of course, you don't know until you break that crust
You don't
whether
know
or
if
not
it's
that
cooked or not, yeah.
chicken is cooked. Does it scare you?
Yeah, tremendously.
So remember, you've got to make sure you've got no holes because it needs to be perfectly sealed. Good luck.
Eamon, good luck.
Thank you.
Rachel,
Where are you up to?
I'm just deboning the chicken as we speak.
you've made the dough.
I've made
You've
the
not
dough.
rolled it out yet?
Not yet.
Wow. The others are well on their way.
Oh, when you look around.
What's the worst thing that can happen?
I don't make the time.
That's fine.
And you have been guilty of
Yeah.
really running the gauntlet and
Okay.
only just getting ready
Maybe
just in
I'll
time.
roll it out now.
No, don't.
No,
don't change.
don't change your plan.
If you've planned it that way, you go for it. We'll leave you to it for a minute and see how you go.
Thank you.
The pastry is falling apart in my hands. I can't get it on top of the chicken without pieces falling apart, holes forming. It's a disaster.
The salted
Eamon?
crust.
Are you having problems with the salt crust?
Yeah, it's all sort of come apart. Have I put too much flour in it?
I think it's been just overhandled a little bit.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So, do it again.
Andrew makes the comment that I might have overworked my dough. So this time when I make the crust, I don't knead it as much and I start rolling it out straight away.
Kirk, you look like a sculpturist, don't you?
I managed to get it pretty well sealed, tearing off some pastry from other places and patching up holes.
So we're going to flip this baby over. Let's have a look.
Okay.
Oh, that was a sigh of relief, mate.
Okay. In it goes, I guess. It's
another
broken
hole.
away here.
I look over and the whole back end of the pastry is torn open.
I've run out of pastry, though.
Well, make a little bit more if you need to. You know, you can make a little quarter recipe.
Good luck, man.
This is my second attempt at trying to wrap the chicken in the pastry. And it's not any better. There's pieces falling off, there's massive holes. I've tried to patch it up with other pastry I have lying around, but nothing is working. Big fail. I didn't work it enough this time, apparently, and now this one's falling apart even more.
Is there any way you can salvage that?
No, it's too crumbly, it won't.
I chucked my second lot of pastry out and I start on my third. I am freaking out. I'm thinking this is over. I have spent so long on making this pastry, I don't think I'm going to have enough time to finish the dish. This is probably the most I've ever felt like quitting in this competition.
As I start folding the salt crust over the chicken, holes start forming. So I use my dough that I've kept aside to place in the little holes.
I make a half batch of the pastry very quickly and put it over the... patch the holes, basically.
George, I never would have thought making a salt crust could be so problematic. We knew that this little exercise was going to test them, but, gee, they're finding it hard.
It is hard. I mean, you know, it's that whole touch and feel of dough, and if you haven't worked with it before, it can be quite unusual. But, look, Eamon's on his third attempt. He's at a really critical point of the recipe to make sure it's all patched up, to make sure there's no holes, get it in the oven and get moving on, because there's lots of stuff to do.
Lots to do.
So my third mix is looking a lot better. It's a lot thicker, As I pull it up over the chicken, it's holding together a lot better, but as I start trying to pinch it together to form a seal, it starts falling apart again. I am about to cry. I'm so frustrated. This is my third effort.
Andrew, 45 minutes are down. Where do you think they should all be right now, and are they on track?
I think at this stage, I'd be pretty worried if I didn't have my chicken in the oven.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Which order would you do it in?
I'd go chicken
Yep.
in the oven, which is done, then get straight onto the thigh.
And nobody's doing that.
No,
not
no.
Eamon, not Rachel, and not Kirk. That's a bit of a concern.
I just want to finish this challenge. I've never quit anything in my life. I get all the holes covered as well as I could, all the ones I could see. I'm hoping there's none I couldn't see, and I get the chicken in the oven.
I use a mortar and pestle to grind up some lemon zest, white peppercorns, fennel seeds and garlic, and this is going to make a nice paste to wrap in my chicken.
And now we're down an hour and a half to go. This is your last hour and a half in the MasterChef kitchen. Come on, guys.
1.5 hours to go, and I check on my chicken, and there's a hole in the crust. So I decide to get some extra crust that I had left over and patch it up in the oven. Andrew told us not to open the oven at all when it was cooking, but I had no choice.
It's so important that the thigh is tied really tight and trussed, because if it's not going to bake properly and it's going to fall apart when you cut it.
The chicken thigh roll has been in the freezer for 15 minutes. I take that out and start making that brown on a frying pan. I then put it in the oven for another 10 minutes to bake it.
What are you up to now? What are you doing now?
I'm about to pull the chicken out.
Oh, let's have a look at it then. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, fabulous. Doesn't, you know, it looks good, doesn't it? It looks like it's kept everything in there. There's no juices spilling out.
Doesn't seem so.
Yeah,
There's a
but-
little bit down there.
So the big moment comes, of course, when you eventually take it out and find out whether it's cooked perfectly or whether or not you've missed the mark.
Yeah.
As soon as my chicken comes out, I want to open it straight away, but I know it has to rest 10 minutes before I can take the top off.
George, the guys are taking their chickens out of the oven. Rachel's looks fantastic. It's almost exactly the same as Andrew's. It's beautifully wrapped up in that salt crust. Is it going to be cooked perfectly?
Gary, the whole competition comes down to that moment when they lift the lid. Is it cooked? Is it not? Is it spot on?
Hearts will be stopping, George. Hearts will be stopping.
The potato alley contains a couple of egg yolks, the boiled potatoes, the roasted garlic, and a mixture of olive oil and just normal oil, and then some lemon juice and salt and pepper to taste. I'm pretty happy with it.
You have 1 hour to go. This is make or break. Will you walk away with the title of Celebrity Master Chef?
Everything I've worked for throughout this competition all hinges on this last hour, and it's going to decide who wins and who goes home a loser. The garlic is so hot coming out of the oven that I have to use a tea towel to start squeezing it in.
Question, how much garlic is in there?
3 cloves.
3 cloves. Cool. Cloves?
3 bulbs.
Bulbs. Yep.
3 cloves sounds a lot more reasonable.
Because cloves are those individual ones.
3 bulbs.
Well done. Good stuff. Were you reading the recipe? Good
I
stuff.
was, yeah, but you still scare me, George.
Cool.
So the all-important moment arises, and I have to cut through the crust very carefully. It looks pretty good. I mean, without cutting into it, it's hard to know, but it smells amazing.
Time to open the crust on my chicken,
Any reason why you haven't opened it?
and I realise that I've left it in there for 30 minutes when it should have only been 10. So I am really worried. It's not going to work.
So this is a big moment. The moment of truth.
Sorry.
You ready?
Yep.
Yum.
You happy with it?
Very happy, thank you.
Yeah, you should be. It's good, well done.
Thanks.
This is the most nerve-wracking bit, because if this isn't cooked, this is pretty much the end of my dish, so...
All I'm thinking about is the money for my charity, the title of Master Chef, and me failing as a possibility. And I'm really nervous.